Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, and today I thought I'd do something a bit different, and I know I said that last time, but I promise you I actually am doing something different this time. This should be episode 1 of hopefully a new series where I watch my friends' favourite films and review them, see how I like them, talk about my favourite things, my least favourite things, see how we compare on our opinions. Shockingly, I know, I have made friends at uni. I know, it's crazy, I didn't think it would happen either, but I have. And this film is Howls Castle, and that is my flatmate's favourite film, George. Here's a clip that I recorded with George earlier. That was fucking hilarious. What's your name?
My name's George.
What's your favourite film?
I really like Howls Castle.
Why?
My older brother Ishmael was really into Studio Ghibli, and I watched it when I was a kid, loads, and now it's my favourite.
Cool. So that's him talking about why he likes Howl's Moving Castle and stuff like that. So I think we're just going to get straight into it. I haven't really structured this properly yet. It's the first time I'm doing this, so I'm not quite sure what to include. I'm not a huge movie buff. I don't know how to do a good movie review, but we're going to go for it. As of right now, I've got the plot, my favourite scenes split up into the funny ones and the serious ones, and then just random extra points because I don't know where to fit them in the plot of how I've planned it, but we're just going to go for it. I will say, if you haven't seen Howl's Moving Castle, this video probably isn't for you, purely for the fact of I don't go that in depth into how the film flows and things like that. I just talk about the plot that I got off Wikipedia and my favourite parts. It's nothing like, yeah, and then this happened, the cinematography and the music. It's not an in-depth review. It's more just my opinions on it and how I wanted to review it. So if you haven't seen it, this probably isn't the best first impression, but if you want this to be your first impression of Howl's Moving Castle, honestly, knock yourself out. I think we're just going to get straight into it. If you like it, please leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe. If you like Howl's Moving Castle, leave a comment and be like, I like Howl's Moving Castle. And if you don't, I don't like Howl's Moving Castle. But if you don't like Howl's Moving Castle, just leave. This film's fucking brilliant. But yeah, we're just gonna go straight in with the plot. And the plot of this film, honestly, I think it's about war at some point, but I don't really focus on that. It's mainly about this young hat maker called Sophie gets cursed by a witch. I don't know if the reason she gets cursed ever gets released or is revealed to us. But when I was watching it, it didn't really seem like there was a reason. She just went, you're young, I'm going to curse you by being old now. So she just makes her old for no apparent reason. And then obviously she was 20 and now she's 80. She's got to hide it from her family. So she runs away to a moving castle in the middle of fuck all nowhere by a famous magician called Howl. I think the whole B plot, or A plot to be honest, I'm not really sure, is that Howl is actually a demon and that he needs to fight in a war, or he was an apprentice and then he became a demon. I don't really know or care. There's a whole war plot point, but I don't really focus on that. It's kind of a big deal, I think, but I don't really care. And that might make me sound like a really two-dimensional person, but I don't really give a fuck. The main things I focused on in this film was that I liked the characters, the lines were funny, and it looked cool. That's all I care about. I think we're just going to jump straight into my favourite scenes. Now, these are going to be the funny ones first because there's way more of them. Now, I didn't think this was a funny film when I went into it. I don't think my friends remembered it being this funny either, but turns out it's fucking hilarious. The scenes aren't in chronological order either. I tried to do them as timeline order as I could, but I don't think I've done that great of a job, so we might jump back and forth. But I've tried to get as many clips as I can for the scenes I'm talking about, so you can sort of visualize what I'm talking about if you haven't seen the film. But if I can't find them, I apologize. I'll do my best. I might even do a drawing if I can't find a scene. So the first scene I've got is old Sophie's walking to the mountains or whatever, the wasteland, wherever the fucking castle is, and she's like, oh, the cold goes through you when you're old. And real old people say that all the time. My grandparents are like, oh, the cold goes through you when you're old. Maybe she's right. Maybe I don't want to be old because the cold goes through me now and I'm 20. I don't even want to imagine what it's like when I'm old. God damn. So she has this little shawl on, and I think she's met the Scarecrow by now. There's a Scarecrow. He's a great character. But the shawl's on, and it blows it off, and she goes, oh no, my shawl. And that was the first scene where I was like, okay, I like this film. This film's funny. The old lady is hilarious. She is my new favourite character. The Scarecrow that we are introduced to is the best character ever because he hops away to get her shawl back and a little walking stick because she's struggling to walk up the mountains. And I'm like, chivalry is not dead, guys. Get yourself a Scarecrow with a turnip head. So once Sophie is in the castle, we're introduced to Markle and Calcifer. Now, I think out of the entire film, Calcifer might be my favourite character. There is so many funny Calcifer scenes. My favourite out of the entire film, I think, is where Hal's making breakfast. So he's got bacon in the pan that he's obviously cooking on top of Calcifer because he's fire. And he's cracking the eggs and he's feeding the eggshells to Calcifer and he's going, nom, nom, nom. It's so funny. I was sat there and I was like, why is this film hilarious? Hold on. Why is this film so funny? I also like the whole door changing where he comes from. So there's a lot of scenes where Marco puts on his little cape and his little beard and he answers the door to like 4 different people because he's got a little turnstile to change where he's looking at, and it's very, very funny. And then we get to a scene with Howl where Sophie's cleaned up the house, basically, or the castle, because it's a fucking shithole, and she messes with some of the potions in Howl's bathroom when he gets in the bath and he comes out ginger. I have never met a man more dramatic in my life than Howl. Like, oh my god, it's ridiculous. This man comes out the bathroom and goes, what's the point in living if I can't be beautiful? Motherfucker, you just went ginger. It is not that deep.
It's hideous! You completely ruined my magic potions in the bathroom!
I see no point in living if I can't be beautiful.
Because then he turns to fucking goo. I mean, I wouldn't like being ginger, don't get me wrong, I don't think anyone would, but I wouldn't turn to fucking goo.
We'll just dye your hair back again, okay? Oh.
And his hair turns black anyway, so he enters his fucking emo phase. I don't get it. What's his obsession with being bleached blonde? It's like mid as hell. Maybe the ginger suited him better. Maybe the black did. I don't fucking know. But I've never seen a man be more dramatic than Howl. And I've seen a lot of men be dramatic in my life. Trust me. And also, why did they just slip in an ass crack shot? What's that about? He sat on the fucking table and his towel, obviously, he's been in the bath. Just has his ass crack out. I didn't want to see that. I was jump scared. I was like, what? I was taken aback. I was like, whoa, what the fuck? Put your ass crack away. Put your little animated ass crack back. Get it away, bro. Get it away. Now, there's a scene I'm going to talk about later on where the Witch of the Waste is turned from a divalicious diva to a scary... Actually, no. A cute old lady. And once she's turned to this cute old lady, she becomes one of the funniest characters in this film. I didn't write down every single one of her lines because it'd be every single line she spoke, but she becomes so funny. Just the way she speaks, and I think it's also the way she looks makes it funnier, but she becomes a very funny character because there's a scene where she's looking at Calcifer and she just goes, oh, what a pretty fire. Like, it's so funny because Calcifer's like, get away from me, go away, I don't like it, and it's so funny. But also, I think the way they designed her after they turned her from this divalicious diva back to the age she's meant to be is so funny because she looks like she's just got no bones. You know that scene in Family Guy where Peter Griffin is like, I wish I had no bones, and he just turns to goo? That is what she looks like a little bit, and it's fucking hilarious. Another Witch of the Waste scene that's hilarious. She just starts fucking hotboxing in the house. Now, Sophie's mum comes to check on her to make sure she's okay, and fucking she leaves her bag and she just steals a fucking cigar or pipe out of it, and she just starts smoking it, and everyone's like, can you not do that? And she's like, nope. It's so funny. The house is just so smoky, everyone's choking. She's just straight up hotboxing in that bitch. Key thing I remember though is that why does Howl kind of look like a lesbian through this entire film? If it wasn't voiced by Christian Bale, I would have thought it was a woman. And I don't know if that's just like the hair or something about him, but when they go to the past to look at Howl's past, young Howl is a lesbian. Like, that is a lesbian woman. Speaking of, actually, young Howl, you're a fucking idiot. All of this could have been avoided if you weren't just a greedy bastard who went, oh, this star's fallen, actually scran it. Like, no one does that. Who goes, oh, a piece of the sky is just fallen. Ow. Why has he done that? This whole film could have been avoided if he just didn't be a fucking idiot for once. All my sympathy went out the window for him when he did that. I was like, right, well, it's your own fucking fault. You know what? Become a demon. See if I go a fuck. Become a demon bird. I don't care. So... something I'm not proud of in this film is, so when Sophie comes back from the past, she's like, falling through the sky. The dog is falling with her, and my friend's dog recently died. Rest in peace, Digger. You'll be missed. And I may have made a joke about it being Digger flying to the afterlife. Sorry, Katie. It was really funny, though. I'm actually not that sorry. It was fucking hilarious. And my friends fucking lied to me. I remember being like, oh, I'm going to look up the cast, see who's voicing who. And I was like, oh, the Scarecrow's got 2 voice actors, obviously one Japanese, one English. And they were like, no, he doesn't speak. Tell me why this motherfucker started speaking. Tell me why this motherfucker turned human. And they just felt like lying to me. I know it was like, oh, surprise, but like, I was genuinely so shocked when he turned human that I didn't see it coming. Because obviously my friends were like, oh no, he's not human, it's fine. Clearly he fucking was, mate. He was like a sassy diva when he was like, actually, I'm a prince and I'm in love with you. And she was like, sorry, mate. Kind of fancy this weird bird fucker. Yeah, this film's weirdly funny and I don't know why. Like, obviously I do. The lines are hilarious, but I didn't expect it to be this funny. My friends were watching it with me and they were like, yeah, we don't remember being this funny, but it just clearly is. So I think I have more funny lines than serious lines just because shit was funny as hell. We're going to go into serious scenes. I say serious scenes, I mean more scenes that I want like pissing myself up, but I was like, wow, that looks fucking sick. Like, it wasn't like suspense, but it was like, okay, this is a really cool scene and I'm glad you've added that. The first one is one of the very first scenes we get. Well, not the very first, but a very early on scene where we meet the Witch of the Waste and she goes into Sophie's hat shop and she's like divalicious at the door like this and then she like flies through her, makes her old. That's pretty sick because then she just walks out all sassy and then she's like, I'm old now, what the hell? That's very, very fucking cool. I think while Hal's recovering from his emo phase where he goes all crazy goo bird mode because he's gone ginger or whatever, he's in his room and Sophie's like looking after him. His room looks like a Holland and Barrett. And if you don't know what that is, it's like this weird, kooky, holistic shop where it just smells like every spice on planet Earth as soon as you walk in. Like, that is where like holistic kind of anti-vax people go. Actually, I go in there sometimes. They sell protein powder, but like it's like one of those crazy holistic shops. His room looks just like that. I will put the picture of the inside of a Holland and Barrett and his room because they are identical to me. They might not look the same when I put the pictures up, but trust me, the vibes are there. There is 2 scenes that I couldn't find videos of, so I'll try and do an illustration if I can. But the trap bird scene where obviously Sophie goes pretending to be his mom and she's like, oh, Howl, it's a trap, and then it's like cool as fuck. I like that one a lot. And the house rebuilding scene where the calcifer's like going crazy and they rebuild the house, it looks cool as fuck. Couldn't find videos for those, but I will guarantee you I will try and draw something for it. Now, this next scene pisses me off because I was sat with my friends and I was like, well, nothing that bad's happened yet. Except me fucking sneezing. So, nothing that bad had happened yet. And I was like, something bad's gonna happen. And I was looking at Calcifer and I was like, you're the best character. You're the funniest character. If they kill you off, I'm gonna fucking kill myself. Oh, what happens 5 minutes later? Calcifer's fucking dead. Fuck's that about then? I literally remember closing my laptop, grabbing the TV remote and being like, I'm gonna turn this bitch off. I'm not doing it. I was like, there's no way they just killed off the best fucking character. Like, obviously he didn't stay dead. That would have been way too evil and dark and would have made me cry. So I was glad that he wasn't dead, but the fact they like even teased his death made me very upset. But the minute we realise he's not dead leads to one of the best scenes in the entire film, arguably the best scene sequence, where she thinks he's dead and she uses the little calcifer ring to find Howl, and obviously it's through the door into the past and she can see him, and then she's like, oh, find me in the future, and there's all the little dancing people. Those little motherfuckers, the little dancing motherfuckers, so cool. I like them a lot. Like, in the scene where the Witch of the Waste gets turned from the Witch of the Waste to the old, decrepit Witch of the Waste, and there's all the little dancing people surrounding her, they are so sick. I love those scenes. Any scene with those little dancing people I was a big fan of. But yeah, when she goes to the past and she's like, find me in the future, you then realise that Howl's known who she was this whole time, and that's like crazy. Like, I don't know, something about that I really liked. I'm a big fan of stuff like that, but it wasn't obvious that he knew, unless it wasn't, I'm an idiot, but in my mind it wasn't obvious that he knew who she was at all. That seemed like a really big plot twist, and I was like, I'm a big fan of that. I was like, yeah. Okay, so those are all the scenes that I liked. Now onto the random points that I didn't know where to put, because they were just random points I thought of in the film, and they didn't fit into anywhere. First point. Why is Calcifer voiced by Mike fucking Wazowski? I was sat there listening to it, and I was like, that's a familiar voice, I need to Google that. Why is it Mike Wazowski? What the hell? And then when you hear it, you can't unhear it. Like, it's just so obviously that guy. It's hilarious. And the whole time I couldn't get over how it looked like Professor Layton. Like, in the video I just posted about the games I have, I talk about how I've just watched Howl's Moving Castle and also Professor Layton. And now I'm talking about how I've watched Howl's Moving Castle and also Professor Layton. They look identical. I can't explain it. I also think this is a very niche thing to say. If you know who Miriam Margolyes is, you know that that is just old Sophie. I'll put a picture of her up. She's a fucking diva. She's this like 90-year-old lesbian. And the whole time Sophie was talking and walking about, I was like, that's just her. Like, that is just that diva. And I think if they were to ever do a live action Howl's Moving Castle, which I hope they never do, because that would ruin it, she would be the best old Sophie ever. My final point, and I don't know how to word this without it sounding like a strange thing to say, but in the Japanese version, the Witch of the Waste is voiced by a drag queen, and in the English dub, it is voiced just by a woman. So I thought it was quite interesting that for such a long time ago, they were so open to being interchangeable between like a man and a woman. I thought that was very interesting, and I really liked that. And I thought for 2004 Japan and even England, I was like, that is a very big thing to do, to be so open about interchanging between men and women voicing a female character. I was like, I like that. That's interesting. Overall, I give this film 5 out of 5. It is a great film, I think. It's an excellent favourite film to have. Like, there's some films that my friends have that are their favourites where I'm like, is that really your favourite film? There's so many other better films out there, but like, I can see how this can be someone's favourite film. It is genuinely amazing. The plot is pretty strong, even though I don't care about the whole war aspect. The aspect of just like Sophie and Howl and the house, it's so good. I think the animation is amazing. Obviously, it's a Studio Ghibli. I love it. The music's amazing. The characters are brilliant. I think this makes an excellent favourite film. I do think that this has become one of my favourites too. Like, I watched this film and I was like, I'm in love with this film. I think I'll watch it so many more times after this. I can't wait. I haven't seen all the Studio Ghibli films. I've only seen 3 now. I've seen My Neighbor Totoro, Ponyo, and Howl's Moving Castle, and Howl's Moving Castle is definitely the best. I'm going to watch Spirited Away soon, because people say that one's pretty good, but so far Howl's Moving Castle is my favourite. Anyway, I think that pretty much concludes my Howl's Moving Castle review. It wasn't the greatest review. If you guys want to leave suggestions down below of what other sections I should add, like recasts and like characters and stuff like that, let me know. I'm willing to make these a lot longer, because I've only been recording for about 20 minutes. That doesn't seem like a lot of time to cover such an amazing film, but I've sort of said everything I possibly can. So if there's any other sections you want me to include, let me know. I'm open to it. I'm open to anything. But yeah, if you liked it, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe. Bye.